Charlie Kirk was confronted by a leftist accusing him of being pro-life only until birth. He claimed Charlie didn't actually care about humanity. He brought up everything he could just to get destroyed by Charlie.
Is government really the first step to try to make sure a kid has a meal?
But is that not,
And just so
just
we are
about verbatim quotes from those, from that Bible and Jesus that you're always talking about?
Yes, well, hold on.
Feed the hungry and clothe the poor and support everybody.
That's a third and fourth important point.
Yeah.
That's where I believe Christian charities and churches should step up and feed and to clothe and to be a helping hand, not government. In fact, we used to be a country that we had a lot more private charities going and helping people in need. In fact, I would make a contention, if the government cut all of its social welfare, every church would step up to make sure that no kid went hungry in this country and that no kid would die of starvation. We are a very generous people. And what we have found in Europe, when the government grows to such an extent, private charity basically goes under. Also, I do want to make sure it's clear. Child starvation is not an issue in this country. 5 to 10% of kids experience what they call food insecurity. That's like a very opaque term. But 50% of our children are obese or overweight.
Yeah.
We do not have a child starvation issue. We have a child obesity problem. We're feeding our kids too much of the bad food, not too little of, food that they need.
Yeah.
Finally, so
Although those two issues do go hand in hand because lower income families are not able to afford.
See, that's actually not true.
Higher nutrition or the more nutritious, healthier foods that
they make a conscious choice to buy bad stuff. Study after study shows
that bad stuff is cheaper and they can get more food that way. They can't afford to eat fancy local organic Caesar salads from Whole Foods. They can afford to eat a sandwich off the dollar menu because they only have like $2.
You're right. So again, study after study shows that that's actually not true, that lower income families actually prefer the worst food, and they've actually grown largely addicted to it. They become very glucose dependent. But anyway, to answer your question, we as pro-lifers, every public policy position we hold is pro-life. I'll give you another example. We want to end the Russian-Ukrainian war so that the sons and daughters of this nation don't get drafted into World War III against Russia. So everything we believe is through a pro-life prism.
Okay. In that case, to that end, I mean, it's not so much of an opinion, but there are people in this country who do die every winter, die of exposure because they are homeless and shelters don't have enough room or capacity and they haven't anywhere warm to sleep and they die of exposure. So with that in mind, would you support increased